Take a deep breath in and release. Second breath in and release. Third one in and release. In the horizon, you see an island across the ocean. There is an island across the ocean. You also see a man on this island. This man is the new version of yourself. This man is a version that you've been hunting in the past 30 days, or perhaps maybe in the past 30 years. See the man on the island. As you stand here cold and miserable, see that man on the island. Don't just fucking look at the man on the island, but see him. You see, there's a difference between looking and seeing. Ever since we were born, we looked at things with the gift that we got, our pair of eyes. Our pair of eyes have been the witness of what we've seen most of our lives. Most men die with the same pair of eyes that saw everything, but in fact, didn't see anything. They spend years looking at things, but never seeing anything. The neurology behind your eyes is connected to every fucking cell in your body. That's why what you see is what you react. This neurology is not a one-way feedback. It's a two-way highway. But most of you have shut down the second line of communication. It's all about you and what you look at with your eyes. But it's not about what you see. There is a connection directly from your heart to your eyes that you have shut down for fucking years. Not allowing you to see what you need to see. But yet, you look at it every single day. Every single day, you look at your wife. Every single day, you look at your children. But you do not see them. Because your fucking neurology is shut down. Your signals are dimmed out. Your receptors are fucked. You are the modern man. And fuck you, modern man. The modern man looks but can't see. The modern man is a forgotten man. The modern man is a man that left his heart somewhere in the universe, hoping and wishing that another man will find it for him and give it to him. But not tonight. Tonight, where you're going, there will be no one giving you anything. Tonight, where you're going, you're not going to need your eyes. In the darkness, you're not going to look at anything. There's nothing to look at. In the darkness, you're going to need your heart to find the light. And by all means, you're going to fucking chase that light. Tonight, you're going to hunt that light. Tonight you become the fucking hunter. Not a man. Not a human. But a fucking primal fucking hunter. And hunt the light. You need the light. The only thing that will enable this two-way connection of your eyes and your heart is a light that's going to shine upon your heart. But be careful, you're not going to look at it. You're going to have to go see it.
Answer the fucking question.
No.
Dobrze. To nie będzie łatwo.
It's a sad tale, the story of the modern man. For the first time, this conversation of being a good man, this definition of looking at things in a good way, going to have to fucking destroy that. And you're going to have to become good at being a fucking man rather than fucking being a good man. Do you fucking understand the difference? So every man is on a mission tonight. No one's gonna hold your hand tonight. No other man shall hold your hand tonight. You go in the night alone. Alone should be. That's the mission. And you're 100% responsible for leading yourself tonight. So every man is a goddamn fucking leader tonight. Lead yourself to what you want to see, not what you want to look at. Once you figure out the difference, you now have that two-way connection between your eyes and your heart. And you will never look at things the same way that you've been looking at it. So keep your eyes on the island. See the man on the island.
I got to remember to turn my mic back on. What's up, gentlemen? Can get rid of that. So it's my 45th week since joining the Warrior Brotherhood at the very beginning of this year. And so every week I am going through and revisiting these old Warrior Week kind of mini documentary videos, mostly with Coach Sam, the wonderful, glorious terrorist, the what else does Garrett call him? I think the I forget. Anyway, I first excuse me. I first encountered, I can't honestly remember when I first encountered Wake Up Warrior. I remember I saw the Las Vegas video that Garrett did in 2016 or 17. A good friend of mine, one of my best friends, Ian Borders, sent me, actually it's here, the Warrior book, the original Warrior book. I lost the cover for this, but this was the first, one of the first rounds of the, when they called it the Black Book. But anyways, that was my wedding gift from a good friend, Ian, who was in the Brotherhood at that time. So anyway, he introduced me to it in late 2017, and then mid 2018, like June, summertime 2018. I'm getting too comfy in my seat. June. It was the very beginning of June. I signed up late May, but I missed the first cut. So I ended up in the June group for a 30-day Kingdom Challenge, I think they called it. King's Kit. I was part of King's Kit 2 in, I believe, June 2018. And, I've done lots of training. I've been into personal development for most of my adult life. I've studied psychology. I've, done therapy. I've studied mythology. I got my foremost wise man, Joseph Campbell, the father, or the godfather who created this framework of the hero's journey. Anyway, I've been studying all this stuff for 15, 20 years, but I had never encountered something quite like Warrior. And at that time, I spent my last $100 on this Kingdom Challenge, or King's Challenge, whatever it was. Like I said, I was part of King's Kit 2, the group. Anyway, it transformed my life. I'll save my ramblings about that for another time. But god damn. Oh, forgive me, Lord, but god damn. It's the best fucking shit I have ever found in my whole motherfucking life. Like, no lie. Anyway, had to hallelujah, you know. Anyway, I finally got my box set. It only took 5 months to clear customs out here on the far side of the world. By the way, so my name is Cody McKibben. I am the founder and CEO, trying to become the CEO of a really tiny business that we run based here in the Philippines. But you know, it's a mostly online business. The Hero Foundry, and I've been doing my own. Like, honestly, I've dabbled, but I suppose, you know, I've been a teacher. I mean, I've been a writer for all of my life. I've been too many things. A wannabe entrepreneur, dabbling in all kinds of things. I mean, I ended up getting into events largely out here in Asia, and I was putting on entrepreneur retreats, adventure retreats, frequently, in-person events, and actually getting into conferences. And I was co-host at least of at least 3 pretty major size conferences, 200 to 500 people. No, 3 to 500 people. Anyhow, and my wife is Filipina, and so we moved. I met her here in 2013, and then I moved her and our son here in 2015. Or excuse me, I moved us to Thailand. So I was a nomad for 10 or 12 years, like wandering the earth, living on 4 continents, and traveling at least 35 countries. But so anyway, I got involved in a lot of different businesses and projects across, you know, during my travels across the world, but always trying to build something of my own. So, but I was on a very similar path, I think, to Garrett, maybe from 10 or 12 years ago. but you know, like I see where a lot of his frameworks come from. You got to credit Garrett is the master of frameworks. So God bless you, Garrett. I mean, yes, you've distilled wisdom from God, from the divine, from the Almighty, you know, through your person, which I know is hard work, but you've distilled universal principles, but you've managed to package them up, you know, in beautiful frameworks with alliteration, and they're catchy. And anyway, but I through my wild experience around the world, I think I had at least encountered a lot of similar influences, you know, because I remember there's parts in at least the old podcast Warrior on Fire, and I think in the original book, you know, it's like the whole warrior doctrine all in one volume, like one Bible. But you know, like he mentions the what is it called? Oh man, I'm gonna slaughter the word. Forgive me, I forget how to say it right now. Dhammapada is one of them, but the Hindu scriptures. I'd studied Hinduism. I'd studied especially Buddhism because I lived in Thailand on and off for a total of 7 years. And you know, Tony Robbins and many of the same influences. I saw, like, I'd come up with my own 4, I called it the 4 pillars before I even encountered the core 4. But you see that reflected, well, I mean, even in Russell's book, you know, like in business circles, yeah, like mindset, health, wealth, and relationships are pretty commonly known, and that's my 4 pillars. Kind of the different industries or whatever, at least for information marketing and online marketing, blah blah blah. Anyhow, I'm getting carried away, but encountering Warrior changed my life though, and it took a lot because I didn't want to step on any toes. I didn't want any conflict of interest. I've been slowly developing my own sort of coaching practice based primarily on the hero's journey and the monomyth framework from Joseph Campbell, who was a great American mythologist, most active between the 40s and the 70s, I would say. He died, I think, in the early or mid 80s, 84, 85. Anyway, the hero's journey. So there's a lot of similarity in our business, but hey, Mike, how are you? I'll bring you on here in a minute if you got some feedback, but thanks for joining me, brother. Yeah, I'm just kind of rambling about my origins and how I encountered Warrior. But real quick, I'm gonna cut to a video. I want to share something with everybody based on some principles I learned when I first joined the King's Kit in 2018. He had this really cool framework about the growth mindset, is how I would frame it. Scarcity, like the 3 stages of growth, and it's like scarcity, abundance, and prosperity, right? And I believe it's on the back of all the books, the newest stages of books. He's got it as the warrior's journey, eradicate scarcity. Stage 2, the king's journey, establish abundance. Stage 3, the empire journey, expand your legacy. So that's, kind of scarcity to abundance to prosperity, right? Anyhow, I'd shared that simple framework with my wife and my 7-year-old son actually a year and a half or so ago. I'd drawn it up on the whiteboard and just tried to use the metaphor of the garden and gardening and growing things in your life. So real quick, let me see if I can share my screen. I'll just play this short video and then let's get on a little group chat here. But give me 1 second to pull up the right tab, I hope. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So this is my team, like just private group for my team here in the Philippines. Gosh, where is it? Here we go. Short video I recorded with my son Christopher 2 weeks ago. I hope that you'll get the audio.
Hey, yo! What's up, guys? I wanted to share a little lesson about the growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And I'm joined by my wonderful son, Christopher, today. Tell everyone what's up.
So, what's up? And I'm Christopher, and we're gonna also learn how to grow your life better and how to grow plants.
That's a good intro. Welcome to Chris Channel TV. So let me see, how do I turn this around? 2 years, almost 2.5 years ago, I drew something up on the whiteboard to share with Chris and Jam and the family about this idea of growth. Here, let me show you the version from my training. We got scarcity. You're a little tiny sapling. You plant the right seeds, but if you tend to them and nurture them, they grow into a small plant. You got abundance. And if you keep doing the work, eventually you get to prosperity. So scarcity is like not enough. You're stuck in scarcity in your finances, in your life, in your thinking. Abundance is you've got enough to take care of your basic needs. Prosperity is you have more than enough to share and provide for other people around you. So I drew this up on the whiteboard, and Chris did a really beautiful, colorful crayon version of this idea of the garden, We got scarcity down here. It's got a little seed and a sapling. The little seed is right there, but then it starts to grow, and it grows bigger. There's all these roots under the surface, which is the work you've got to do that nobody sees. And eventually one day it grows into this big, beautiful tree, kind of like the parable of the mustard seed that turns into the greatest tree in the garden and provides, place enough for all the birds to make their nest. So what do you say, buddy? Where's my man? What do you think about that?
It sounds good.
It sounds good. Well, tell us more. What did you learn? We did a lot of gardening last year.
And I learned when we did gardening that it's good to garden more plants, and it's good to grow your garden more.
Yeah. And what do you have to do to raise plants?
You have to water it, and you also need to and you just started. You also need to put some seeds.
Yeah, and you gotta water the plants, which is something you're really good at.
And also give them some sunlight.
Yeah. So they need the right circumstances, the right conditions. They need love, right? And attention and nourishment and care. So you plant the right seeds and you take good care of them and you feed them with what they need to grow. And then what? I mean, some of our plants have grown pretty big, right?
Right.
In the garden. And the same is true in your life, in your money, whether you're growing a business, whether you're growing a family. This one used to be pretty small, and now he's not as tall as he looks because he's standing on the bed, but he is quite big, growing fast. And our baby Sophia, your little sister, what about her? How much has she grown in 1 year?
Like this.
Like this. That's pretty, that's giant. So a lot of people, there's this idea of growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Most people think that they have a limited set of skills and knowledge and ability, but this is really a metaphor about life. Gardening is a great metaphor for life because all areas of your life, if you things start small and it takes time. You're not going to see results, big miraculous results overnight, right? But if you're patient and if you keep nourishing and watering the plants, things grow, they blossom. So this is just a really important principle I wanted to share with my family and want to share with all you guys on the team and more, because I think it's really important to have the mindset. You've got to know that growth is possible. Don't think that where you are today is somewhere that you're stuck, like that you'll never have more than you have right now. But you do have to make the investments every day, and you'll see your life grow. You'll see your bank account grow. You'll see your family grow. Your faith. What else? What else grows?
Your garden, and also your life grows.
Your life. Good. So right here, back to Chris's drawing. She's a beaut, isn't she? Here's another one of Iron Man Lolo. Also, what did I put here?
Love.
You copied my 3 words, which is our founding principles, kind of love.
Love, kingdom, and
This is a crazy Greek word, actually. Do you remember it? Can you pronounce it? Ecclesia. It's sometimes often translated as church, like the book of Ecclesiastes, but it really means community. So love, kingdom, community, and lots of beautiful plants in Chris's colorful garden here, and a nice North Star to follow. So love, meaning love for God, love for your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the greatest commandment, Jesus said. But in our house, who do we love? Who do you love the most?
The family.
Who?
Sophia.
Sophia,
And you and Mom.
Mama, Papa.
And Lola.
Yeah. So we love each other. We love God. We love our friends, our extended family, our community, everyone around us. And that's how you make good things blossom.
Mm.
The kingdom is that's something I'll go into more another time. That's a lesson for another day. But what do you think about kingdoms? Any thoughts about kingdoms?
That you should like take care of your kingdom, and like
Mm.
you should also always like you should always do things that is good for your kingdom. You should always and you should also like take care of it.
Beautiful. And community?
And community, you should like help people there, and you should also like try to do something nice.
Hmm. Yeah, we have a growing community, right? Of friends and like godmothers and
Mm.
brothers and sisters,
Lots.
all of our friends, all of our team. We love you guys. Thanks for being part of our community and help in our kingdom.
Mm.
So let's build together.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys soon. Any final thoughts?
No, but also like check Chris Channel TV. The best videos.
The best. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
You guys got to send me a comment on YouTube. Dang it. I've been muted for, I don't know, a minute. Sorry, fellas. Anyhow, that's my boy Chris. As you may be able to tell, he does have a bit of a fascination with YouTube videos and making videos. So anyway, I've been trying to nourish that passion, growing passion of his, and thought it would be fun to make some videos together. And I've been trying to kind of instill some of the principles that we learn in Warrior, but like, you know, at a bit of a simplified level for kids. But yeah, anyway, that's actually a video I made with and for him, for his channel, but also share with our team here in the Philippines. So, and actually, yeah, you know, I'll save that thought for another time. I wanted to make this broadcast for my brothers in Alpha Unit, and my shout out to Wake Up Warrior Challenge 6 brothers. Dave, you've been on here with me almost pretty much every single time. Marty, dude, you've been slaughtering it when we were able to connect. Michael, also here in the Philippines. I think we're the only two in the Philippines, but excellent to connect with you, my brother. And anyway, you know, Ray and Joe and Matt and the rest of y'all from the Alpha Unit, small group, whatever. Yeah, just wanted to send an update to all of you guys. So we've been on and off meeting and trying to get like a small weekly mastermind group going. And yeah, Dave and I have been we've been the most consistent. But yeah, the last few, I mean, he was actually suffering from COVID. And then life has just exploded for me. I had some family issues and whatever. Baby in the house, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, please accept my apologies, guys, because I missed you this morning, my time, but last night, your time. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm out here in Asia, in the Philippines, right? So on the opposite side of the world. So it's like already late night. Actually, happy. I don't know. I feel like I need to do a haka. What do they call it? But we need something for the warrior movement, the warrior tribe. But brain fart. Happy Warrior Wednesday, I guess, is my overall message. Yeah, it's Wednesday almost everywhere in the world all at once. Right now, it's this very moment. It is Wednesday. Wednesday is almost over here for me. It's about 11:40. So, midnight is fast approaching, but Wednesday's just getting started for all you in America. So anyways, happy Warrior Wednesday, okay? But yeah, I wanted to send a message to my mastermind brothers, especially David. Yeah, I want to keep this going, but I also want to, get at least a small crew. So I thought, I'm kind of a little bit shy to do this, but I kind of thought, hey, maybe just broadcast to the whole group inside the Warrior Shelter and see if anyone else wants to start joining us. But but I also thought, yeah, maybe I'll make it for you guys a morning show, bright and early, Wednesday morning. But for me, it's the end of the night, and I'm winding down, and I had a long work day. I was up early this morning. I'm fucking exhausted, you guys, and I'm enjoying several beers. I'm not going to lie. So, enjoying my evening, winding down, but I wanted to catch up with my brothers and share some things, especially since it's been actually 2 or 3 weeks since we were able to connect, and that's my bad. My apologies, fellas. But anyway, going forward, I'm because I'm right in the middle. I have a ton. Actually, I think I was on that page. Let's see. Don't need the full screen, but where is that? Yeah, this is like we're going through. I'm leading my team through a shitload of sales and marketing training this month, and so just every day I've got live broadcasts here in our company group, our little private group for our team, and anyway. So I cannot, and sadly, I can't make the same time as we used to meet. But if I can do a late night broadcast and you guys can join me, that'd be great. So yeah, it's the first time doing it. Sorry, I got a couple beers in me already. Planning a Thanksgiving party and too many things. But I wanted to share, that video I made with my awesome son recently, inspired by Garrett J. White. So I guess you could consider that your vitamin C for the evening, or excuse me, for the morning. What do you think? Should we do like a warrior podcast of some kind? I mean, I hope, assuming it's okay, and I have like at least a sort of blessing from Warrior. I don't want to step on any toes, but I think it would be fun. Yeah, so Dave, let's keep meeting every week. Let's whenever you are able to join me. I don't know, you might hop on here later, but if not, I know it's a drastic time change, but let's figure out a time, probably a morning if you're available at all. And yeah, I want to keep meeting, but I also want to I was thinking I want to open it up to a couple more guys. So anyone who's interested in joining a little mastermind group and just sharing the warrior journey together, and we're just average dudes, average dudes trying to reach for warrior status and kingdom building eventually. But yeah, just sharing our experience, sharing our stories, sharing our struggles, sharing our wins. And I think it would be cool also, if occasionally I might be able to get one of the OGs, one of the longtime brothers who's been in from early on, some just heavy hitters, some guys who've really seen big achievements and huge results. I know there's many, many of them from this network. And so if people are willing to share some of their time, I would love to do like an interview series too. So in my mind, and this is primarily aimed at you, David, Marty, and Michael, but anyone else, feel free to chime in. But I'm thinking like, yeah, what if we turn it into a podcast? So, you know, if Dave, at least like if you'll be my co-pilot, that would be amazing, brother. And, you know, anyone else who can hop in semi-regularly, excellent. But also like, yeah, maybe we can kind of, I guess, include like hot seats, you know, but do little interviews with some of the celebrities or whatever, you know, the all-star team that has arisen out of Warrior, thanks to Warrior. So those are my thoughts. And I've got one or two guys I'd like to invite to share their story, their case study, kind of, you know, starting soon. So, but yeah, maybe we can do a little time change and like share it within the network, and anyone can tune in, and like we can do, you know, a bit of group time. But yeah, I guess just, you know, I want to use my YouTube as a opportunity just to share my own reflections on my Warrior journey and all the work I've done, just to talk it out loud. You know, I see other guys in the network that are doing these live casts, and it's scary to me, but I need to practice. So anyway, but especially sharing the journey, you know, sharing just the struggles of life, and encouraging each other and holding each other accountable on a weekly basis. So, you know, we can incorporate a small element of like the little break-off rooms, but, you know, like a little team huddle. But I'd also like, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to share, yeah, my reflections, my experience. I mean, I had the honor of being part of, you know, a contributor on this like 30-person team, like rewriting the book series and as part of the Kingdom Warrior box or whatever. But like kind of incorporating biblical lessons and wisdom with the Warrior doctrine. And it was just like that's maybe the most transformative thing I've ever done. So I've gotten so much from this community. I cannot speak highly enough about Warrior. You guys have transformed my life. Garrett, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of your sacrifice. Coach Sam, I miss the hell out of you, brother. I mean, it was an honor to train under you in 2018, and Jeremy Franson as well. All, you know, and everyone here. This is such a great community to be a part of. So I'm just so blessed, so grateful. And it's almost Thanksgiving. I'm trying to think about everything I'm grateful for. So 7-day gratitude challenge starting tomorrow, okay? Leading up to Thanksgiving. I issue you all a 7-day gratitude stack challenge, okay? So anyway, yeah. I'm doing a bunch of training with my team based here in the Philippines. Sorry that I missed you guys this morning, my time, Tuesday night, your guys' time for most of you in America. But let's see if we can adjust the schedule. And if anyone else out there, if you guys are interested for, you know, to join a little mastermind crew, but also, you know, make something that we'll share within the community, and maybe if it, you know, with everyone's blessing, we could also publish it outside to spread the good news, you know, to what's that word? To evangelize. Anyways, okay. Let me switch this off. Sorry, I've had that on too long. But there's something else I wanted to. Oh, so okay. So speaking of 2018 and the King's Challenge and everything I was talking about with my video with Chris about like the metaphor of the garden. You know, actually, real quick, I mentioned in there that parable. So let me see if I can. Yeah, the kingdom of heaven. This is a quote. Quote, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed which a man took and planted in his field, though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. End quote. So that's Jesus. That's the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which grows into this astounding tree. So that's from Matthew chapter 13, verses 31 and 32. Okay. So that's what this has been such a big principle in the back of my mind. And yeah, last year we just opened this office. I had intended to do like a proper, restoration, refurbish the place and make this a small co-working office. And then we opened the doors. We had our first 3 customers, and then 2 weeks later, the whole world locked down. The whole world economy locked down. Tourism ended as we know it, maybe never to return. I had a retreat scheduled in June 2020 that I had to cancel. We were working hopefully on a conference for this year out here on my beautiful island of Bohol. Yes, that's right, King's Kit 1, 2, and however many there are. But my King's Kit brothers, that man on the island, I became the man on the island. At least for me. Like, I live on a motherfucking island. I live on Bohol, on an archipelago of 7,000 plus islands. But I live on a beautiful little destination island called Pangma with a bunch of high-end resorts. Today, anyway, but I've been trying to teach my wife and her family, my extended family, and our team and our kids, these principles of like from scarcity to abundance to prosperity, the growth mindset versus just a fixed mindset, right? So that was what I cooked up with my son Chris, and I hope you guys enjoyed it if you caught it. But now I would like to actually show you behind the scenes. I'm just going to share this only within the shelter, so I hope forgive me if this isn't kosher. But I've been thinking back to that King's Challenge ever since getting back in the network, actually. And anyway, I want to share the original training from the man, the myth, and the legend, Garrett J. White, the master coach mentor, right here. Give me a second. I should have pulled this up already, but in the armory. Yeah, this is Garrett's original. I guess he just called it the 3 stages, but I think the 3 stages of growth. So I just want to play this and, reflect on it and get anyone's feedback if anyone's tuned in. So.
Welcome to the King's Briefing. My name is Jeremy Tyler Finlay. I'm the CMO here at Warrior. You might recognize my voice. I narrate occasionally, but I'm here to walk you through 4 specific steps. This is homework that is very crucial to prepare you for the 7-day onboarding experience. There will be 3 videos that you watch and 1 assessment that you take. This will take no longer than 2 hours of work. So whether you joined with 2 hours to go and then we start onboarding you, or it's 2 weeks from now that your 7-day onboarding experience happens, this 2 hours is crucial for you to understand how this is going to work for you. So without further ado, let's dive into the first step.
When I first began down this path, I was clueless as to the extent of the journey that laid before me. The truth was, I stepped into it looking for life. I had no vision of you. I had no vision of a movement. I had no vision of a brotherhood. I simply had the pain of the reality of my own life. I had the disconnection of scarcity that ran most of my day-to-day feelings. This sense of lack and almost an anchor that operated inside my soul. This anchor itself, no matter what I did, no matter how hard I ran, no matter how hard I tried, seemed to be hunting me, chasing me. Almost a sense as if there was something behind me, coming after me. And no matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, no matter where I went, I could never find an actual place to hide. This sense of this something hunting me was the virus of scarcity. Most of my life, I had been taught that this feeling, this scarcity itself was normal. And like an individual who has experienced chronic pain for most of their entire adult life, chronic pain becomes part of their reality. And scarcity, brother, inside of your life and my life has also been experienced this way. From our parents to our church leaders, to the people around us in the government, to those in our lives and surrounding us, not only did the sedation of men incur the ramifications of the results of kings becoming peasants, but also inside of this, we began to see for the very first time the reality of scarcity sitting and pouring itself through the veins and through the heartbeat of men around the world. This scarcity itself bled into the relationships of marriage and into the destruction and ultimately the separation of family. At the core of all nations sits the kings, and inside those kings, kingdoms, families unified with one another, strongholded against the outside forces that would attack and attempt to separate and destroy and dismantle this sacred bond. But just like all viruses, they don't immediately attack. They slowly settle in, and into the host body, they begin to form themselves as normal. Scarcity became normal in my life. The idea of having it all was a far-fetched conversation. It was an impossibility inside of an insane reality with a desperation for some fantasy that might be. But when I woke up every single morning, I was being hunted. What I didn't understand was I was being hunted inside my own mind, hunted inside my own soul. And though there might be those outside of me many times coming and going, whose intent was ultimately to do harm to me, the deepest amount of harm and terrorism that existed in my life existed inside of me. It was then that I began this journey called the Warrior's Way. I didn't call it that at the beginning because I felt anything but a warrior. I felt the furthest thing from what one may consider to be a king or a warrior king for that matter. I was simply a broken, hurting man. Day by day and week by week, the doctrine began to unfold inside of me. I would make a step in one direction and it wouldn't work, and then I would make a step in another direction and it would. And then one day, the reality of life itself began to unfold before my eyes, a glimpse, a hope at the end of what was a very dark and black world that I lived in. A light that spoke to me and said that having it all was possible. But not that having it all was only possible, but it was obtainable and that it was scientific in nature. That there was a formula to obtaining this have-it-all lifestyle. And that the gateway, the virus itself of scarcity, the gateway and the serum to bring healing and solutions of power to that scarcity would come through a unique process that would become known in the Warrior's Way, to having it all. There was a combination of body, being, balance, and business. And inside of that reality, the core conversation that drew you here to the beaches of Laguna, that drew you here to this unique experience with Warrior, that conversation is also your pursuit.
I feel lost. I feel like this fight that I can win this life back to where I control. And I tell the stories. My soul tells the stories. I get punched, I get knocked down. and I come right back. I go again. I don't care. There's always a second. But now, I'm here now.
But there are two realities in this. There's the reality inside your mind that says, I believe it's possible to leave behind this one and two-dimensional way of living and to enter into a new code and a new commitment and a new way of being and ultimately a new way of seeing reality, and that is to experience the have-it-all lifestyle. But see, having it all is an exodus from a game of scarcity. It's an unwillingness to allow one aspect of our lives to fall victim to the virus of scarcity, while the other three strive to search for the next phase in the game, known as abundance. See, I didn't see this. The scarcity itself was so deep in so many areas at different times. My body would be accelerating toward abundance, the natural state that it was born in, and yet my beingness, my spiritual connection with God was falling apart. In deep rooted in scarcity, my marriage and the balance of my relationships with my wife and my children rooted deeply in fear and anguish and chaos. Putting it all together was the key. How was I going to put it all together? How are you going to put it all together? And inside of this conversation of having it all, there was a realization that unless the king was whole, the kingdom would perish. That the fastest path to bringing about revolution in the world doesn't come about by trying to change or revolutionize the world. It comes about by awakening the kings just like you. Showing you that the path that you live in, anchored by scarcity, possibly in your body, anchored by scarcity, possibly in your business, anchored by scarcity, possibly in your marriage, a feeling and a sense of lack being hunted by this virus from behind. But the have-it-all lifestyle in this first phase is about eradicating scarcity. It is about eliminating scarcity from your reality. It is about allowing you to wake up in the morning and to look across the kingdom and to look across the king that you have become and to realize that in your body you are whole and you are full, that the body you have been given has become a weapon of servitude to serve you in the journey called the game of life. To wake up and recognize inside your beingness that the communication and the divinity that you have sought is something that's always been available to you. But now you see it, you hear the voice deep inside every single day, guiding you down the paths that appeared to be such a mysterious way in the past. You wake up to see the queen and that flirting back and forth and the recognition that you two have begun to finally see each other for who you are. A willingness and a desire to be home with your children and to connect with them, to lead them, to guide them, to inspire them, not out of guilt, not out of fear, and not out of shame or blame, but driven by desire. And to look into the business and look into the bank accounts and recognize that for the very first time, all of this is happening at the exact same time. Now, to pull this off, we are armed with the code. To leave the land of scarcity and enter the land of abundance, to evolve from this game of scarcity into the land of abundance, was going to require us to leverage the fuel of fire that comes from fear. The fear of not living by the code, the fear of regressing back to the game of life. This fuel of anger and of fear becomes the fuel that you will lean on in this aspect of the journey. The warrior's way to having it all begins with the code inside of this gap between scarcity and abundance. Ultimately, it demands and commands that you stop fucking lying. Lying about where you are, lying about where you've been, lying about where you want to go. But this lie is not just one of logic and of words, but lying of emotion and fire and desire inside. Inside of this awakening of truth, the code itself begins to put a crack in the reality of the virus called scarcity. And inside of that crack, the serum for that sickness begins to be spewed into it through the core. A daily, disciplined regimen of focusing on body, being, balance in business, strategically, gamified, in a scientific, proven strategy to unify you with you, to bring about an exodus from scarcity. To get there, the fuel is fear. It seems odd that this would be the fuel to drive you from scarcity to abundance. It is literally a running away from the poverty that exists on that side and chasing down the possibility that exists inside the capsule of abundance.
I have reacted with you because
and here's the thing, like a lot of men think that their wife is the craziest, right? That their wives are bitches or just like nuts, right? And I'm gonna say the reality. Women are just nuts. They are.
No, and right? I agree.
And here's the thing. It takes a man to be able to handle a powerful woman. And oftentimes these men, they give up because they don't have the capacity to be able to handle a strong woman. And that's where I had to grow and expand myself to handle this powerful woman. Not only is she powerful physically, but mentally, emotionally, everything demands a high altitude of capacity from me. And, but guys would rather quit, think that there's something better once they leave their wives or once they get a divorce, and that's just not the case. Women require a strong man. And if you rise up, you'll keep your marriage together. But a lot of guys are not in it for the long haul. They're not in it for the fight.
Boom! There's your vitamin G. Hell of a video, huh? Courtesy of the great Jeremy Finley, I believe. Let's see. So, yeah, ever since June 2018, when I first joined King's Kit, man, that video series was powerful. The whole process, the 30-day challenge, was just transformative. The most transformative thing maybe I've ever done. So yeah, I mean, my warrior witness, like, yes, it's all true. I guess, like, since I've had the original doctrine, the Black Book, since late 2017. Joined my first challenge in mid 2018, but I didn't really double down and go all in with the Warriors Way until this year. So since January, I joined Garrett's like a 5-day intensive the Creator Challenge or something, and then snuck my way early into Shelter. And but in the first 6 months, I recognized that I broke through that barrier. I had been fighting to pull myself out of this immense pit. I called it an abyss for years. I mean, I guess the deepest one and the most recent one was like early 2017. And so like 3 years, I just fought to claw my way out of my pit, which is also another story for another episode. But yeah, Warrior saved my life. No joke, no exaggeration. I might not be here if not for Warrior in 2018, and definitely since January. I remember, through my general's tents and my reviews and blah blah blah. The first 6 months I was actually active, using the apps, stacking consistently, Core 4, and part of the network within 6 months, it became apparent to me finally that I and my wife together have finally broken through that barrier from scarcity into abundance. And so, like, the fear doesn't have the same effect on me anymore. It was, yeah, everything he says in that video is so important. And at the beginning, and you got the 7 pits or endless pits, it's always a cycle. You reach a new peak, and then you plunge to a new depth. So just because I'm out of that pit doesn't mean there won't be more. There'll be many more until the day I die. But that was the highest peak, and then I fell, to my death and rebirth in the deepest depth of my life. That was 2017, and just having, especially the stack, the tools of the weapons of warrior is really. I tried months and months of therapy and many things. But having the stack and just this philosophy, this way of living is it's made all the difference. It's really saved me. So thank you, Garrett. And next time, guys, I hope that maybe we'll start to make this a thing. Dave, send me your feedback. Marty, Mike, Ray, anyone, give us a comment, leave your feedback. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if you have ideas to tweak it and make things better, or if you just want to join us, and just, because if we do this again, maybe next week, depending on the response, but it would be fun to get a couple guys on here, and we could do like a breakout, share the conch shell and go around, and we can all share where we're at in the journey, whether that's scarcity or abundance or prosperity. But like I say, we're always climbing to new peaks and then fall down to new valleys, and then just keep climbing again to the next peak, right? That's what Warrior is training us to do. And it's the greatest supplement, the greatest weapon in our stumbling towards heaven. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Warrior Wednesday. Please give me some feedback. Let me know if you enjoyed this or if you think I'm a rambling idiot. But, I just thought it'd be fun to, revisit old content and reflect on our journeys, and, maybe start interviewing a couple people now and then, just getting people's stories, getting warrior witness, testimonial, success stories, but also sharing the struggles, the hard times. But I wish I could join you guys on the regular Tuesday calls, but that's about 4 a.m. my time out here in the Philippines. So I typically do tune in for them, and I try to keep up with the fireside chat, and I love it. Coach Brandon, shout out to you too, my brother. Love you, man. You are killing it. And really appreciate everything you guys do. Actually, it was the same with the fact maps. I signed up, and thank you, Coach Brandon, for the personalized message. And I wish I could be there with you live, but I'll tune in for the replay because, it runs from about midnight my time until 8 in the morning, which is just, I tried it once and I utterly failed. Anyways, give us your feedback, and hopefully we'll see some of you next week, and maybe we get a couple guys on here. We could do a little small group chat, and hopefully just give a little extra entertainment to a couple of you brothers in the network, and maybe we'll share this beyond if we got the blessing of the Godfather. So Godfather G, thank you all. God bless you. You know what? Hold on. I've always been I've always been hesitant to do this. I appreciate prayer. I'm a big meditator, but I don't feel strong with my prayer game. But my brother, Marty Goldman, just recently really encouraged me on one of our weekly calls. And, he encouraged me to start or end the call with a prayer like Garrett's been doing. And I respect the hell out of Garrett for doing that. But I'm always on the fringes. I got very deep faith. But for some, I'm not a church guy. Warrior is my church. # Warrior's my church. But anyway, something came to me last week, though. Like through the voice, man. I mean, the stack I've been connected for a couple of years, like very connected. And I have my own way of doing that. But the stack has hypercharged it. And like my relationship, my connection to the voice, whatever you want to call that, God, the voice of God within, the conscience, the inner voice, whatever, the higher self, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's been giving me massive downloads, especially, since joining the Brotherhood and getting in, and stacking regularly. But anyways, something came to me last week. Let me end this off with a prayer. Lord, Heavenly Creator, transcendent all Father God, hear my prayer. Equip me with the divine weapons and defenses of my dark warrior. May I ever have the wisdom, discernment, and clear vision of my light warrior. And gift to me the ever-dying and undying spirit of my Creator and of truth. Endow us all with the certainty, confidence, and will of the savage servant king. Let us embody our royal ancestors and righteously lead others towards the kingdom of heaven. Kings and queens under the King of Kings. So we end this meeting, this broadcast in the name of Christ. Amen. So thank you guys for tuning in. Mike, I saw you on there, and I'm sorry I saw you. Yeah, he said, I got to run, brother, but I would love to be part of your series. So Mike Herbert, man, I really appreciate it every time I've seen you contributing on the Fireside Chat calls. I think we connected once, maybe during Wake Up Warrior Challenge. But would love to have you as part of this, brother. So thanks for tuning in, and sorry my video maybe ran a little long and you had to run, but yeah, thank you guys. I know a couple were just watching the live broadcast as well, so please do leave a comment, whether on YouTube or in the the King's Shelter Network in Workplace. But thank you all for your time. I appreciate your witness, and God bless everyone. 7-day gratitude stack challenge this week leading up to Thanksgiving. What do you say? Do you accept the challenge? Okay. See you guys next week. Maybe give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us some encouragement. Okay. But yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.